Mama's miserable. Michael doesn't show affection. He's not sweet to her.
You don't get out my sight. Walking around like nothing's wrong, Michael. There is a problem here.
Yeah, we don't feel bad for Skeletor.
Awesome!
The second part of the Happily Ever After tell-all has arrived, and people seemed even more confused this week than ever on how to watch these episodes, and I was one of those people. This time, when I went to go watch part 2 on the TLC website, there was this lock icon, which ended up meaning that when I clicked on the episode, I needed to then also select my cable provider to get this episode. That was new. I did not have to do that with part 1. They are just really trying to make this hard, aren't they? And even though I do have a cable provider, the episode ended up crashing for me a record 7 times. That does not happen to me on Max or Discovery Plus. So, small rant, that meant that each time the episode crashed, I had to again refresh the page and rewatch a set of commercials. That happened to me on part 1, but for some reason this was worse. Thank you so much TLC for making this so hard to watch. Just so you know, I think that Philo is supposed to have the tell-all. You can do a free trial, but I think it's only 7 days. I have not heard of any other streaming services getting these episodes until all 5 parts air on cable, which is so dumb. If anyone knows anywhere else to watch the tell-all, please post it in the comments below. I'm sure people want to know. But let's talk about part 2, shall we? And first, I want to apologize for how many times I said the words tell-all in my part 1 video. I went back and counted 26 times. Wow, sorry. I saw someone say something like, if she says tell-all one more time, I'm going to vomit. I don't blame you. 26 times is too many. I don't say it that many times in this video, I promise. Anyways, so we left off in part 1 with Jasmine complaining about Gino's corn addiction. And then they continued to talk about some other stuff about their intimacy that no one needs to know. Let's just say it made Lauren make this face.
No. She's not like have sex. She can't please herself either.
Even Gino's cousin just looks so embarrassed the whole time. Gino and Jasmine are apparently in a really bad spot. And we knew early on when they first joined the show that they started off with a lot of issues. But now it seems like a lot of the blame is being put on Gino, even by his own family.
I know Jasmine wants it to work out. I know that she loves him. Gino, you have to admit that there is a problem in order to fix it.
It seems like he's more over their relationship, and Jasmine is trying to make it work. She even says at the end of their segment, off stage, that she won't give up on them. I'm glad she wasn't yelling, and that's nice and all, but I hope we don't get another entire season watching them try to figure things out. So after that, everyone heads back to the mansion for the second night. I enjoyed the vibe of the first night, but the second night already felt ruined when I realized that Angela was coming back to the mansion as well. And it's because you know it's going to happen before it even happens. Angela is just going to start screaming at some point, while no one does anything about it. Which is kind of ironic because I thought it would actually be Jasmine screaming too. That's all she did in the last tell-all that she was on. But no, she actually seems to be very calm and even trying to make things work with Gino. We instead get Skeletor, who's screaming just because Michael exists. If he's around, she's screaming. If he's talking to another person, she is screaming. I doubt this guy can even sit on the toilet without her screaming. And I still have no idea why producers think that this is safe. She should not be allowed in this house. We all know what happens if anyone even slightly talks back to her. And when she does walk away and gives everyone's ears a break, we have Ed over here trying to prove that Liz was unhinged during taco pasta night. This fight was over 6 months ago. I don't understand the point of this.
Ed was supposed to watch my daughter that day.
Please let her talk.
You're such a pussy.
It's like he has this strategy to try to get people to see how horrible Liz is, but everyone already knows how horrible he is. And yet he still tries to get his sister to tell the truth about what happened that night. But what's the point? We've seen Ed and Liz fight a ton of times. They both get upset and yell, and Ed says something stupid. And I don't know why he thought calling his sister would prove anything, because it doesn't.
She's digesting.
She was acting the way she's acting tonight. And that's
But she's not acting any sort of way tonight. She's actually quite pleasant tonight.
There also ends up being this weird back and forth revenge thing going on. Ed continues to try to say anything he can to make Liz look bad.
She would have taken me for all my money. You think so?
Oh, yeah.
And then Liz retaliates, or her boyfriend does, in a very cringy way.
I'm sure Ed will be somewhere in the corner crying, but if he wants a problem, I'm right here. You don't talk
up.
You're not gonna do anything.
As much as I am happy that Liz has someone else and is not just trying to get back with Ed, her constantly trying to brag about her new relationship starts to come off as really performative.
I am so happy I can mentally and physically look up to someone for the first time in my life.
Like, cool, we get it. You like each other, you say he's way better than Ed, but like I said in part 1, we really don't know this guy. We don't know anything about Liz's new relationship. And we've seen over the many seasons that she obviously has issues when it comes to toxic relationships. When I say I'm happy for her, I just mean that I'm glad that she is simply just with someone else. I'm glad that Ed and Liz are not a thing anymore, because there are definitely still some feelings going on with Ed and Liz, unfortunately. And I think that because they're just making these jabs at each other, and they keep oversharing information about each other that no one wants to hear.
You have sloppy
You watch that is stepbrother, stepsister.
Well, except Jasmine. She wants to know how Ed and Liz could even anatomically get it on.
I don't understand. You on top?
Yeah, obviously. And I don't know how he got tired with that.
So that's what this entire part 2 night ends up being about. Things we can never unhear about Ed and Angela yelling over and over.
Michael, get your and go now. Okay, lock the door so she can...
So when we get to the next day, the tell-all part 2 filming, I was hoping there would be a lot less yelling. So, you know, that means a lot less Angela. Like, it would have been great if they actually did lock Angela out of that house like they joked about. And before people are even getting dressed, we have Ed over here with his drama with Lauren.
He treats women like and then he did an interview and said that I'm a bottom feeder and I'm the lowest of the low.
And Lauren seems all mad while Ed is just enjoying that someone's touching his face. And as much as the mucus man annoys me, I prefer this Lauren and Ed drama over Angela just yelling out of nowhere for no reason.
And they just feel like I'm crazy because their wives and their situation ain't never been as bad as ours.
It's like nails on a chalkboard. Jasmine and Gino even think that this is humiliation. And I think Gino likes to be humiliated in some way. So that means that this is bad.
It doesn't matter what he's done. Nobody deserves to get talked to like that.
She doesn't let him even talk.
And when filming does start, I just kept hoping that Angela and Michael's seats would stay empty. That would just be so nice, wouldn't it? But no, they just keep having to bring Angela back, even though I think she stormed off again after that last screaming. Wouldn't it also be nice if someone stood up to her a little bit? I know everyone's afraid to after she got in Liz's face on the last resort. I mean, maybe someone could get in her face and she'd back down. I've never actually seen anyone do that except Liz, and Liz just tried to get away from her. Someone needs to do to Angela what Lauren did to Ed.
I think you are a bully. I think you are not nice to people. I think you're not nice to women. And that's it.
But no one does. We just move on to Kobe and Emily's segment. And I don't feel like this couple has a whole lot of real drama. They just can't agree on a baby name, and the cultural stuff comes up about Emily being bossy and Kobe's friends not liking her. Like, yeah, everyone knows how Emily is. I'm more concerned with the fact that they keep having kids under her parents' roof, even though I did actually see something recently saying that they did finally move out. But I will say, at least Emily is not screaming at Kobe every 5 seconds, and Kobe's honesty is hilarious to me.
When we met, there was no love. I just wanted to...
Angela wants to remind you to subscribe to this channel. If you don't, she will be released in your city.
So they can have their made-up drama about Kobe not breaking up with his ex when he met Emily, but I feel like a lot of this was just added in and not really that big of a deal. As long as they stay out of her parents' house, I hope they have a nice life. And then we unfortunately end part 2 with Angela and Michael's segment. Like, this guy has not been tortured enough. I'm not even going to play Angela's responses to Sean's questions. I don't even know why they are asking her questions. My face was like Ashley's anytime Angela answered anything. Michael does at least seem to get a small window to express how he feels.
We can't even have a conversation. She always refers to the cheating, to the lying and all that.
But it doesn't last long and we go back to screaming. Can someone let him talk, please? put a muzzle on Angela maybe? Like, this is pointless. And we end part 2 of the tell-all with Angela's daughter coming out to talk about how miserable Angela is. Yeah, we don't feel bad for Skeletor. I was hoping that this segment would be quick, but on the preview for part 3, they bring in a private investigator that looked into Michael. So Angela just gets to act insane, and Michael gets investigated. It is a good thing we know he got away from her after this. And it looks like in part 3, we do get Ed's hot tub fight with Thais. I'm still looking forward to that. So part 1 had my attention a lot more than part 2, but I really think it's because of Angela. Once she was in the house, she took over everything with her screaming over and over again. I will never understand why they think we want to see Angela. It's making this harder to watch, and it's sad to watch Michael get treated this way with no one stepping in. It's like, why is nobody doing anything about this? I don't know. Leave a comment about what you think about part 2. I just hope that part 3 has less Angela. And please, can we just put all of these tell-all episodes on streaming services? Please. Anyways, thanks for watching. Bye!